Hi there, Perennial Pride listeners. Thanks for joining me on this episode. So, this is part two of a four-part series I'm going to be doing that covers some basic topics that I share in the book I wrote, Wealth Beyond the Numbers. Something I'm really excited to be sharing with folks. It's a compilation of key things I've learned along the way in my life, has really given much more life to my life and certainly impacted my financial success. And it's tidbits I've learned across the way. People have influenced me, strategies and approaches that have just been really impactful for me. And so I'm really grateful to be sharing those with you, and hopefully they help people. So in this section, it's called Build Self-Awareness and Create Unique Impact. And there's a lot of different steps involved with it, but at the core, though, I want to share today is really helping discover yourself. It's kind of an interesting, seemingly simple concept. Do we know ourselves, and do we know what we truly are about? Like what drives us? Like what do we value? And it seems basic, but it's something I think can easily go ignored. We kind of operate in our day-to-day lives. We're compelled to do things in a certain way, but I didn't really think about it growing up to kind of build that self-awareness about myself and appreciating who I am and how I attack things, or what drives me to do certain things. I really didn't think about it. I just was operating, I guess, in my mind, thinking by instinct, but really it took some energy to really reflect on what it is that I'm about and what matters to me, and am I living life in alignment to those sorts of things. And really what really helped me along the way was stepping back from life for a moment, and ended up working with a good friend of mine, Tammi Brannan, with the blueprint process. And we'll put a link to her website to learn more about it. But she really helped me sort of think through my life's journey and what are the things in my life that truly mattered the most, and what I really at my heart truly valued, and how that translated to the things I do today. And it was really eye-opening to go through those exercises. We went through a whole host of them. And Tammy's great she really walked me through a lot, and it was really just a really useful exercise for me. And I wish I had certainly done it years ago. There's so many things that, you do these days. You're like, oh, I wish I did that a long time ago, but I was ready for it that time, I guess. It just took me all these years. But it was really, really amazing to walk through and really dig deeper into who I am, and appreciating the good and the bad of who I am, and accepting myself for, how I am, and what I become, and be grateful for it, because it's come from a lot of great experiences, some bad ones, but it shaped who I am, and it's made me unique in so many ways. So it really brought me home, and it actually brought me to writing a book like this, because it really, the values that I learned from that, and what was my purpose and cause in life, has helped me to really refocus in my daily life, and from my employment to how I treat my family, and thinking about my health, and so many ways that help me to grow and become better each and every day and year that I'm here. And I think that's really the heart of all we can do, is to continue to strive to become the best versions of ourselves, and continue to challenge ourselves and contribute to this earth as in any way we can. And through the course of that set of exercises, I was able to figure that out and really harness what I was really about. It was so really almost relieving in a way to say, and accepting of who I was and who I am, and then say, what do I do about it? And that's the next leg of the journey. So it's probably a never ending, infinite study of things, and it will evolve, but to really help me to stay focused. And some of the values that personally came out about probably not surprising, but helped me reinforce the things that I do, and how I operate. So I really highly encourage you to go, again, look at Tammy's blueprint process. It may be helpful, or, there's even basic things. And this is when a friend of mine shared this to me, like some of the values that really drive decision making. What do people truly value across the globe? And the top five were family, probably not surprising, relationships, financial security, belonging, and community. And so those are the five values that when they look across the board with people globally, those are the values that drive people and how they operate and their decision making. And so it may be different for you. And this is where you can explore that. There's put a link to that article so you can kind of see if that makes sense for you, or there are different ones that just jump out to you, but having a reflection moment to uncover which ones really stick out to you and really encompass what you value in life. So another aspect of this, obviously the values is one thing, but a thing that's also impacted me along the way is just learning my strengths. So strength finders, if you heard those, that's a really good tool. But there's one that also I came across years ago was the Kolbe Index, Kolbe, and really helps to identify how you solve problems in the world, right? We all do it a little differently. And for me, it was really reassuring to know that I operate the way I am and it's okay, and appreciating where it helps me be successful. And then also secondarily, where I may need help from others that maybe operate differently to balance things. So one clear example is I'm one that loves to research. I like to look at information and I'm very analytical. And in a lot of ways, that's great. However, it causes me sometimes to delay and research over and over again and pushes me to not take action in some cases. I've had to fight that over my years. And I've gotten a little bit better, but we're thinking about a team or an environment that in business that you'd want somebody that maybe sits on the other end that is willing to take some action steps. And they don't need as much information to move forward. And they have enough information, they'll go forward that, I found that over the course of my life now that I know that about myself, that aligning myself with others who are more action oriented in that way to balance me and help me move forward. And sometimes I got to pull them back. So it's a nice balance. And I think those are the types of things that this Kolbe Index helps you uncover about yourself. And then you can surround yourself with complementary types of people that can make a 1+1 = 3 sort of scenario. So just something to consider. So how does all of this relate to our finances? Well, oftentimes I may get a very seemingly innocent question of like, well, what should I invest in? And it's such a broad topic. Obviously, there's so many things to invest in. So when I step back from that, when I ask a follow-up question is, well, what's the purpose of the investment? And what is about your investment philosophy that draws you to any particular investment? And, these are very important things to uncover for ourselves because, we want to make returns and grow our wealth. But there is something to be said around investing in things that are things that you believe in, you understand, right? And this sort of goes back to the hierarchy of wealth where after you build your foundation of savings and protections, like investing in things that you can own and control that will hopefully reduce risk and give you some control over that asset. But more importantly, invest in things that you believe in and you fit a profile on what you're trying to achieve with your financial life and won't keep you up at night in a way that's going to be detrimental. That's to me even more important. And so there's a lot of different ways to go about it. And that's what, I certainly help people explore that for themselves. Like, what is it that they're, passionate to invest in? Because you're going to want to research it and you're going to, get excited about it. It's going to probably drive you down a path of just being smarter about it. And hopefully that de-risks things and it could be more profitable. And then you go from there. And that takes some exploration and time. And so for those who are passive in their investing, it probably is probably not a good fit. But that's people are asking that question. They probably would want to take some action steps and be proactive in their investing in their financial lives. So that's an area that I've is important for people to kind of come to grips with their own rationale for investing, what they're trying to achieve with it, and the purpose of those dollars. Because in the end, we can build a lot of wealth, but I've always said this is that, money without purpose is really poverty in my mind. It's not really useful, right? We're building wealth and cash flow and income so we can serve our families and impact the things that matter. And that's why it goes back to this fundamental things. What do we value, right? What is it that brings us some juice in life to really continue to move forward, continue to grow, and put our time and energy behind? Because without that, the likelihood is that our lives will not be as fulfilled as it could be, and we likely won't reach the potential that we could. So it's really important that we do so. So hopefully this was helpful, gave you some food for thought. There's certainly more that I share in the book in this area of discovering yourself and making an impact. So if you want to learn more, certainly go to the website. I'll have a link here. You can go out and you can buy the book and consume it. I'd love to hear your thoughts around it. And always looking for feedback and what you took from it, is helpful or not. And I really encourage you just to continue exploring and figuring out what it is about you that makes you so unique. Because we're all, we may all have the same number of bones in our body. Well, I guess some people don't, but we're all so unique. And that's to me, the coolest part about it, that we're all so unique and bring so much to the table uniquely. And that, when we harness our collective power together, there probably isn't much that's not possible. And that's a really awesome part about it. So take care, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining me on this episode today. I really am grateful for you as listeners to the Perennial Pride podcast. I hope you're getting some tremendous value out of it and hopefully pushing you along your journey to financial freedom. I put this podcast together really to help you get more educated around your finances so that you feel empowered to live the life that you really want. And if you like the content that you heard today or watched, then I would encourage you to go to my website, perennialpride.com. There's tons of other content there. And you can access my book, Wealth Beyond the Numbers. You can buy it there on my website. It's a aggregation of a lot of great tips and tools I've learned to not only build my wealth in my accounts, but build wealth in my life and abundance and joy, and something that has a lot of my experiences in the journey that I've been on personally. Hopefully that can be also of value to you as you sort of move forward. So thanks again for being a Perennial Pride listener, and we'll see you on the next episode.